EU citizens and US citizens have the same rights under US law in the law enforcement context, but it's the same situation as it is in the European Union, which is exactly the same as what's provided under the EU framework decision. Individuals never given access to their ongoing criminal investigatory files. You would tip off someone who is under investigation for criminal conduct, or you could jeopardize the underlying investigation. And the same principle is recognized in the European Union, and that's why the EU framework decision provides for the same derogation under EU law. Member states don't have to provide individuals access to their records that are collected for data that are collected for law enforcement purposes. Same thing. What you can do under US law, regardless of citizenship, is get access to records under the Freedom of Information Act. So criminal history records, for instance, any individual, regardless of citizenship, can get access to his or her criminal history records. Criminal history and you can go to court, regardless of citizenship. Any individual can go to court to enforce that right. Any individual in the United States can get access to criminal history records as well at the state level, because we have, states, and then we've got the federal system and the state system. Any individual, regardless of citizenship, can get access to their criminal history records at the state level as well, and can go to court to enforce that right. You can file a Freedom of Information Act request for any records that the government has. We have, and this is where the Privacy Office comes into play with Freedom of Information Act requests. We do have, just as you do in the EU, privacy regulations about what data can be revealed. If you're requesting your own data, we obviously would not black out your name when we give you your own records, but if my name was in records you requested, we would black out my name to protect my privacy. But you can get records about, there are obviously exemptions for national security and law enforcement reasons if it's an ongoing investigation, but you can get any kind of record the government has, subject to those exemptions.